As our nation still mourns the loss of George Floyd, I've noticed a slight slowing in the momentum of protest and the general popular activism that we saw these past 2 weeks on Instagram, on the internet, on all social media platforms. And it makes me think about this idea of how do you continue to have this conversation on race and injustice and police brutality, and how do you create it in areas where it probably never happened. I grew up in Oxford, Ohio. It's a small college town that's located a little bit south of where comedian Dave Chappelle lives in Antioch, Ohio, and a little bit west of where author Vance wrote his book Hillbilly Elegy about. My hometown is a weird mix of hippies, hicks, future Trump voters, random college students who aren't really connected to the town at all, professors, and then just regular country farmer Americans or people that live in rural America. Where I grew up was good, but it definitely had its fucking moments.
For that phone call. And then I served you what you was asking for. Nah. You ain't gotta make that call now. Stone Mountain. Yeah. You started running that thing after us.
Fucking hell. I think everybody has their story, you know. Everybody has their experiences. Everybody has their shit. And you know, mine's no different. It's no better or worse than anybody else's. I think there's shit that people, you know, deal with behind closed doors that I probably don't know about. So when I think about the cross burning that happened at my house sophomore year, it's not something I necessarily bring up in conversation. But I think looking back, I think maybe a side of me felt a little bit helpless, and I hate admitting that shit. I fucking hate admitting that. Because so much of who I am today is just very driven, very independent, and very much able to take the chaos of my world, whether it's my art, whether it's dealing with finances, whether it's surviving as an artist. I'm able to take all of this chaos and hone it and fucking drive forward through it. I just see things like George Floyd, where someone's doing nothing and people are so quick to say, oh, it was just a bad cop. Or I think back to my experience in high school and hearing people say, oh, it was just 4 stupid boys, 4 stupid kids. And I don't want to be someone to complain about shit. But at the same time, that explanation is just not good enough for me personally. I just never rocked the boat, ever. I was a little bit goofy, a little bit ridiculous, maybe kind of weird, but like, in terms of calling people out on their shit when they say something offensive, or do some shit that in my gut I knew I didn't agree with, I would never. And in some ways this has been really helpful artistically in my field. I will never show that you got to me. I will never let you see my feelings. In that context, I will never let you see that anything you did faze me. And on one hand, it can make things smooth because it's not like you have a ton of support to have conversations on race or to call people out on their shit. But that was when I was a boy. And that boy just wanted to get the fuck out of Ohio. And I did that. And I still have love for a lot of the people there. And there's still some great memories I have of growing up there. And great things that I learned about America, because country America isn't a monolith. That's the one thing that I fully recognize and see is not everybody in rural small town America wants to burn a cross in my yard. It's really easy to say that everybody that lives in a rural community is like that, and that's not always the case. Yeah. I don't know. I just know that New York is kind of a vacuum. And I'm thinking a lot about what would it take to have this kind of support in those places where it's really necessary. It's necessary here, but it's also necessary there too. And it's probably not going to happen, you know. It's probably not going to take place. But I just think a lot about what would that take, you know. I don't know.